If you search for Rothschild on the list of the world's wealthiest individuals, you won't find them. That is precisely the point. The family rule for 200 years has been the same. Never appear in the visible position. Power that cannot be seen cannot be challenged, but power can be measured even when it is not declared. The Edmond de Rothschild Group, headquartered in Geneva, manages assets worth 155 billion euros as of 2023, according to their own annual reports. It is not the world's largest asset manager. It is the most discreet of the major ones. Its business model is not oriented toward the quantity of assets under management. It is oriented toward the quality of the positions those investments confer. Board seats, advance access to regulatory information, the capacity to influence public policy from the private sector. What do they own today? The map requires reading records, not headlines. The Rothschild family holds documented stakes in strategic sectors ranging from mining to energy, media, and finance. The Economist Group, which publishes The Economist, read weekly by presidents, central bank governors, and finance ministers across the world, had Rothschild Investment Trust Capital Partners as a significant shareholder historically. The family divested part of that stake in recent years, but the pattern of presence in elite influence media is consistent with the historical model. In mining, the family is linked to assets in Africa, Australia, and Latin America through private equity funds and corporate structures that rarely carry the family name. In the energy sector, they have been present as advisors in mergers and acquisitions of energy companies across Eastern Europe and Sub-Saharan Africa. But what defines the Rothschild model in the 21st century is not direct asset ownership. It is something more precise. Rothschild Co., the financial advisory firm listed on the Paris Stock Exchange, ticker RCO, with a market capitalization exceeding 3.8 billion euros, operates as advisor in the world's largest sovereign debt restructurings, in the most politically sensitive mergers and acquisitions, and in the privatization of state assets in developing countries. You do not need to own a country to control it. You need to be the advisor on its debt. The case of Argentina in 2020 illustrates this with surgical precision. Argentina needed to restructure $65 billion in debt with international private creditors. It hired Rothschild Co. as its government advisor. Rothschild Co. also represented in other capacities some of the creditor funds on the other side of the negotiating table. This was reported by Bloomberg and the Financial Times during the negotiations. It is not illegal. It is the model. To be on both sides of the table simultaneously, with privileged information from both positions. Argentina finalized its restructuring in August 2020. The terms favored creditors on several key points. The advisor collected fees from both sides. Now the methodology that explains why the family name rarely appears in visible positions. The modern Rothschild structure operates through what can be called a layered architecture. In the visible layer, investment funds, asset management companies, advisory firms with neutral corporate names. In the intermediate layer, family holding companies in high privacy jurisdictions, Liechtenstein, the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, that are shareholders of the visible funds. In the deep layer, family trusts established generations ago, irrevocable, with beneficiaries who never appear in public records. This model is not exclusive to the Rothschilds. It is the standard for dynastic capital preservation. What makes them relevant is that they perfected it before anyone else, and that the scale of their historical influence network allows them to convert each financial position into institutional access. What is the limit of that power? Are there other actors who operate with the same methodology or at greater scale in the 21st century? The answer is yes. And the surname that comes next is one everyone knows, not for the media they control, but for the oil they controlled, and for the medical system they financed, and for the report that in 1910 eliminated alternative medicine from every American university. The surname is Rockefeller.